Dim, 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 dim. Erstmal testen, ob das alles geht. Ob ihr mich hört. Da, also Bild und Ton haben wir schon mal. Okay, jetzt muss ich nur mal mit meinem Handy noch was ändern, damit ich dann auch Chat lesen kann, weil sonst wird das wieder nix. Nein. Okay, gebt mir ein paar Minuten, bis ich meinen Chat eingerichtet habe. Ihr könnt euch ja inzwischen schon mal überlegen, was ihr so spielen wollt. Ich habe echt ohne Scheiß noch immer keine Ahnung. Ich habe einfach keine Ahnung. Vielleicht habt ihr ja eine Ahnung, was wir spielen können. Ich weiß, dass meine Mutter mir so eine Idee hat und ich weiß, dass ich diese Idee überhaupt nicht mag. Ich weiß das, ja. Ich weiß das sehr gut, dass ich da keinen Bock drauf habe. So, jetzt muss ich noch mal ein bisschen hin und her wuseln, dass das alles hier Platz hat. So. Bild und Ton ist da, sehr schön. Alice erlebst du dieses Jahr nicht mehr, sagen wir es mal so. Dieses Leben vielleicht schon noch, aber dieses Jahr wahrscheinlich nicht mehr. Das muss ich leider zugeben. Worauf habt ihr denn Bock? Habt ihr Bock auf eher auf was Lustiges oder auf was? Auf einen Krimi? Ich habe auch noch einen Krimi zu bieten. Oder ich habe sowas schön Entspannendes zu bieten. Ah, da will der Agatha Christie. Agatha Christie habe ich tatsächlich. Ah, woher weißt du das? Das ist ja gruselig. Also ich habe auch Agatha Christie hier liegen, tatsächlich. Also wird es jetzt eher eine Art Krimi. Sehe ich das richtig? Also wird ein Krimi. Stream starting soon. Ja, eigentlich streame ich schon, aber ist ja wurscht egal. Ich weiß auch nicht, wie ich das hier umstellen kann. Wenn ich jetzt auf Livescreen gehe, dürftet ihr eigentlich nicht ganz viel sehen. Aha, ihr seht tatsächlich dieses komische Bild hier. Kann ich das eigentlich irgendwie ändern? Ich wäre sehr gespannt. Kann ich das bearbeiten? Ja, man merkt, dass ich da noch nicht so die Ahnung von habe, von dem, was ich hier tue, ne? Es ist ein neues Programm. Ähm. Was ist das denn? Okay, das war ich nicht. Wie ihr seht ihr nichts. Ich finde das gerade sehr spannend, weil ich mich gerade einfach ein bisschen ausprobiere und ihr seid jetzt einfach mal mit dazwischen. Nee, mich hat's doch keiner. Okay, also gehen wir auf Agatha Christie. Ich glaube, das ist schon so ein bisschen festgelegt. Wir gehen auf Agatha Christie. Ja, ist gut, ihr habt mich überzeugt. So, kann ich das? So, jetzt möchte ich das aber irgendwie bitte noch. Jetzt bin ich aber gleich gespannt, ob das geht. Okay, ihr seht das. Jetzt würde ich aber gerne dieses Top-Donation-Gedönse irgendwie. Das ist ja schön, dass das da drin ist. Aber irgendwie finde ich das ein bisschen störend. Ja, es ist ein Windspiel. Ich dachte, es sieht sehr hübsch aus. So. Ich will ja, dass das da drin steht mit diesen New-Followern so. Aber ich will. Kann man das nicht irgendwie einstellen? Schriftgröße. Also erstmal würde ich das... Ist das da jetzt die ganze Zeit im Spiel drin? Das fände ich sehr störend. Können wir das mal... weg? Das da wegmachen. Nimm das weg. Wie ich einfach mal wieder hier voll ausblenden. Okay, dann blendet er alles aus. Ich möchte ein New Follower. So. Linksbündig oben ist ja zentriert. Das darf ruhig mal zentriert sein. Hintergrundfarbe, Farbverlauf. Das ist ja alles sehr schön, aber irgendwie... ja, ein Kaninchen. Können wir das Ganze hier ein bisschen anzeigen? So. Stört das da oben? Hm. Ah. Was mache ich jetzt? Entschuldigung. Sieht ein bisschen aus, als wäre ich besoffen. So, ausblenden. So, und das würde ich jetzt gerne. Kann man das so lassen? Guck mal eben. So kann man das lassen, oder? Ich finde das sehr praktisch, dass ich jetzt auch endlich GIFs hier reinkriege. Nach oben links. Ob es nur oben rechts oder oben links ist, mir persönlich erwischt. Ah, ich verschiebe immer das Bild. Das will ich gar nicht. Wahrscheinlich wird dem Bild schon schwindelig. Der arme Karnickel wird schon seekrank. Alter, so. Jetzt fahren wir dich hier rüber. So, jetzt steht es auf der anderen Seite. Aber ich bin froh, dass das mit den GIFs endlich funktioniert. Da bin ich schon mal einen ganzen großen Schritt weiter tatsächlich. Bin ich sehr glücklich drüber. Kann man das so lassen? Jetzt könnte ich natürlich sogar noch Musik im Hintergrund anmachen und ich könnte so viele Dinge, aber ich werde ja gleich spielen. Es läuft jetzt tatsächlich auf Agatha Christie hinaus. Es läuft auf... Das ist gut so, oder? So, jetzt muss ich mal gucken. Gucken wir mal, ob wir Agatha Christie... ob wir das spielen können. So, so, jetzt muss ich natürlich zusehen. Das will ich jetzt nicht mehr haben. Mach das doch weg. So. Wo haben wir denn mal? Das Ding ist auch echt ein bisschen... So. Quellen. Ich hätte gerne... Das Spiel. Würde ich ja jetzt gerne, ne? Kann sich nur noch um Stunden handeln. La la la. Einstellung für Bilder. Das mit der Bilddatei war ja okay. Wie kann ich jetzt dafür sorgen? Ich weiß ja nicht, ihr seht wahrscheinlich gar nichts, ne? Gerade sehen sie nichts. Wie sie sehen, sehen sie nichts. Also mache ich das ganze Ding hier mal ein bisschen kleiner, weil sonst sehe ich nämlich auch bald nichts mehr. So, Quelle. Audio funktioniert hervorragend. Aha. Nee, muss ich doch ein bisschen größer machen. Nein, das wollte ich doch gar nicht. Also es gibt leichte technische Probleme, wie ihr vielleicht merkt. Das Fenster voll. So. Moment. Seht ihr was? Ich weiß, ihr hört nichts. Ich habe gerade auch nichts auf dem Ohr. Aber seht ihr was? Das ist gerade die viel wichtigere Frage. Sehr schön. Dann klicke ich jetzt mal hier. Profilname bleibe ich bei Savannah. Wie ist der Ton so? Ego-Punkte, Fortschritt 0. Wie klingt das so? Ist das zu laut, zu leise, zu mit? Sprache, okay. Lautstärke. So besser? Eventuell ein klein wenig leise. Ich glaube, so ist das Stimmen noch immer ein bisschen. Wo man Stimmen nie zu laut haben kann. Video, Steuerung. Ja, mit Maus ist sehr schön. Ist das so besser? Ja. Aerodinien sagt ja. So hört man mich auch. Das ist schön. Ich möchte mich auch hören. Wird geladen.
Some post for you, Poirot.
Mr. Hercule Poirot, you fancy yourself, don't you, at solving mysteries that are too difficult for our poor thick-head British police? Let us see, Mr. Clever Poirot, just how clever you can be. Perhaps you'll find this nut too hard to crack. Look out for Andover on the 21st of the month. Yours extra, A, B, C.
Oh, it's some sort of joke.
Maybe. But please remind me to inform Chief Inspector Japp.
Nein, ich habe die 50 freizuschaltenden Trophäen nicht gesehen, aber danke, dass du es mir erzählst.
It's here, Poirot. The murder took place in this street. Grim place indeed.
Tout à fait, Hastings. The streets of Andover are in a terrible state.
Look, there's Chief Inspector Japp. He's talking with a policeman.
Let us try not to get our shoes wet.
Wehe, wenn hier Sprüche wie diese Fingerabdrücke stimmen nicht übereinkommen, flippe ich aus. Wie bewege ich mich denn in diesem Spiel? Das muss ich ja alles erstmal lernen. Aha.
Over here, it's Hastings and Poirot. You missed the 9 o'clock train?
We took the 10:30. Luckily, the service is good to Andover.
So, Chief Inspector, what do we have?
The victim is called Alice Asher. She owned this tobacco shop. She was killed yesterday with a blow to the back of the head.
At what time?
Let me just check.
Finden Sie 3 Indizien, die Poirots Bemerkungen entsprechen. Was für Bemerkungen denn?
Is Japp being too relaxed? Let us find the clues that prove it.
Entspannte Haltung, ja.
Japp is in a good mood. I bet he thinks he's already caught the culprit.
Danke, Mietz. Wenigstens einer, der es lustig finden würde.
The last customer to see Mrs. Asher alive left her shop at 5:30. The body was found at around 11 in the evening by an officer doing his rounds. The shop door was open. That's what alerted him.
Had anything been taken?
A little tobacco maybe, but you'd hardly murder for a few smokes. There's nothing of any real value in the shop.
What type of woman was Mrs. Asher?
In her 50s, married but separated, no children.
Her husband?
Aha, Franz Asher, the husband. Alcoholic and violent. It's said that he regularly insulted his wife and threatened to kill her.
Okay, Moment. Ich habe gerade festgestellt, dass sehr wahrscheinlich... Ja, Moment. Warum kann ich das jetzt nicht ändern? Ihr müsst mich gerade kurz... Ja, nein, das ist okay. Das ist... Hier spinnt wieder alles. Ich muss mal ganz kurz was... muss mal ganz kurz was ändern. So, was machen wir denn jetzt? Sagen wir ihm, dass es zu offensichtlich ist oder fragen wir ihn nach seiner Meinung? Ihr könnt ja mal ein bisschen bitte entscheiden hier. Dafür ist es ja mein Streamchen. Ich könnte mir dabei die Nase putzen. Also, Krimi-Spezialist vor. Wer von euch kennt den Mörder schon? Ich wette, da habe ich auch noch welche. Wir stapeln tief. Also ich frage mich nach seiner Meinung. Frage ich ihn nach seiner Meinung?
Do you think he's guilty?
We'll look for Franz Ascher. If he doesn't have an alibi, the case is closed. A very unoriginal murder.
Peut-être. May I examine the crime scene?
Of course, old chap.
I'll be with you in a minute, Poirot.
Was hat Hastings denn vor? Oh Gott, ich kann hier so viele Dinge machen. Eine Ratte. Da läuft eine Ratte.
Chap is in a good mood. I bet he thinks he's already caught the culprit.
Das stimmt. Was ist das hier? Den Tatort untersuchen, okay. Opfer. In den 50ern in Andover ist Eigentümerin eines Tabakladens mit Franz Ascher verheiratet, lebte aber allein. Was ist das? Ist Diebstahl. Alter, was kann ich hier alles machen? Hier bringen sie Poirots kleine grauen Zellen zum Einsatz. Das Ziel ist es, die Frage, die er sich stellt, zu beantworten, indem er Verbindungen zwischen den Indizien herstellt. Und das ist tatsächlich ein bisschen wie bei Sherlock Holmes. Ich habe auch immer noch ein Holmes-Spiel liegen, ne? Tatsächlich. Und die Devil's Daughter, das habe ich tatsächlich noch auf meiner Platte liegen. Ziehen Sie die Indizien auf die leeren Kästchen, um die leeren Stellen zu fühlen. Ich fühle sie. Ich fühle sehr viele Indizien. Ja, ich glaube, in Devil's Daughter kannst du den Bassett spielen. Wie hieß denn der Bassett nochmal? Ich weiß es gar nicht mehr. Meets by Sooner wieder hieß? Du hast das doch auch schon mal geguckt. Darf man das sagen? Darf man, ne? Der Fortschritt wurde automatisch gespeichert. Okay, dann gucke ich mal, ob ich hier irgendwas finde. Da liegt sie. Indem sie die Maus gedrückt hat und die Maus verschieben. Okay.
It's not just any.
Huch.
It's open at the letter A. There are no prints on the book.
Toby, ja. Toby, wir können den kleinen...
Red liquid is oozing out. Is it blood? No. It's just some strawberries that are losing their juice. They probably come from the fruit and vegetable shop opposite. The counter is covered with fingerprints all on top of one another. Unfortunately, it will not be possible to use them.
Sammeln Sie Ego-Punkte. Ego-Punkte. Ich habe ein sehr großes Ego. Der Akzent ist cool, ja. Muss ich ja sagen, das gefällt mir. Er ist ja nun mal auch Franzose.
She has a packet of play cigarette next to her hand. Did she drop it when she fell? This poor woman's head is resting in a very even-shaped pool of blood. This poor woman's head is resting in a very even-shaped pool of blood. The body is hidden by the counter and is not visible from the tobacco shop store. Many customers must have thought that Mrs. Asher had popped out.
Belgier. Oh Gott, entschuldige. Ja, ich lasse es Ihnen nicht hören.
I can't see any other mark on the floor.
Was ist das hier eigentlich für ein Punkt? Und warum kann ich den doch...
This poor woman's head is resting in a very...
Danke, ich kann das abbrechen. Ich bin sehr begeistert.
She just has one wound on the back of the head. There are no other wounds or signs of a struggle.
Aber er klingt so französisch.
There are cigarettes packets in a mess on the shelf.
Okay. So. Kleine grauen Zellen. Ich habe keine... Es fehlt ein Indiz. Okay. Warum kann ich die nicht zusammenführen? Ah! Das mit den Indizien habe ich noch nicht verstanden. Ich bin da zu dusselig für. Wahrscheinlich fehlt mir einfach auch noch zu viel.
The door is locked.
Aber da habe ich jetzt alles, ne? Ja. 5 von 5, okay. Da kann ich auch noch was machen.
The place is unusually tidy for a crime scene. Nothing suggests any sign of a fight.
Aha.
So, Poirot, any news?
So, an ABC guide with no fingerprints but prints all over the counter.
Normally, the tobacco shop does not sell ABC guides.
Exact. Mon ami, could you have a word with the neighbors? Some may have seen something.
Of course, my friend, I'll do it straight away.
Wir haben hier doch wir haben hier doch Menschen, die sich damit auskennen. Ist Hastings ungefähr das, was Watson für Holmes ist? Also...
The murderer deliberately left behind this ABC as a signature. The absence of fingerprints and the fact that it is open at letter A for Andover leaves little doubt.
Ach, okay. Okay. Da fehlt uns immer noch ein Indiz, also würde ich da wahrscheinlich noch nicht ganz viel machen können. Hier habe ich aber alles. Okay. Die Blutlache halte ich schon für wichtig, aber wir haben keine Spuren auf dem Boden. Sie wurde vor Ort ermordet. Ach, er ist sein bester Freund.
Mrs. Asher was killed here. The absence of marks in the shop and the regular shape of the blood stains indicated beyond a doubt.
Ich quatsche ihn mal rein. 5 Ego-Punkte. Also ist Hastings quasi sein bester Freund? Und ist er auch sein Butler? I mean, I don't know. Es fehlt mir immer noch ein Indiz. Was ist denn das? Es fehlt mir immer noch ein Indiz. Ich weiß nur nicht welches.
Nothing suggests any sign of a fight.
Okay, die Romane sind also oft aus seinem Blickwinkel. Also im Grunde ähnlich wie bei...
This fruit and vegetable shop has a front row seat. Therefore, an employee might have noticed something.
Also hat... Ja, da kann ich ja nicht hin.
This fruit and vegetable...
Ich kann aber nicht reingehen. Das ist sehr klasse. Also quasi, ja, es wird immer aus der Seite eines anderen, also aus der Sicht eines anderen beschrieben quasi. Weil, Holmes wird ja größtenteils, glaube ich, auch aus Watsons Sichtweise beschrieben, oder?
This place is run down. This is a really cutthroat neighborhood. Anyone could have committed the crime.
Okay, bei Watson ist ja klar, dass er die Geschichten von Holmes aufschreibt. Das ist alles sehr... Noch ein bisschen schwach hier.
Dash! A puddle! How clumsy. This is a really cutthroat neighborhood. Anyone could have committed the crime.
Okay. Irgendwie... Jetzt rennt er unten durch die Pfützen, ohne dass es ihn stört. Irgendwie habe ich das Gefühl, wir kommen hier draußen nicht weiter. Okay. Das hatten wir. Das hatten wir auch alles. Hier hatte ich auch alles.
The door is locked.
Gibt es hier irgendwie... Nein. Es ist nicht mehr wie in alten Zeiten, als ich anfing mit Point-and-Click-Adventure, wo man einfach naja, auf die Leertaste gedrückt hat und dann hatte man irgendwie so ein paar Hilfe. Ich brauche diese eine fucking... Was ist denn euer Scheiß Ernst? Diese eine Indiz.
Nothing suggests any sign of a fight.
Okay. Also gehe ich nochmal raus. Ja, hier drin finde ich jetzt nichts.
This fruit and vegetable shop has a front row seat. Therefore, an employee might have noticed something.
Ja. Das ist mir bewusst, aber du gehst da ja nicht rein, Poirot. Okay, da geht er auch nicht hin. Das hatten wir alles schon. Da oben hängt ein Lied. Hier hängen Schaulustige rum.
This is a really cutthroat neighborhood. Anyone could have committed the crime.
Mehr sagt er dazu jetzt auch nicht mehr. Den Tatort untersuchen. Ja, das mache ich doch, mein Schatzi. Was übersehe ich?
The door is locked.
Ich sehe irgendwo einen Schlüssel davor.
I can't see any other mark on the floor. There are cigarette packets in a mess on the shelf.
Mal die Kasse an. Oh, ja. Danke. Ja, abonnieren kann man. Gegenstände verbergen Geheimnisse hinter komplexen Mechanismen. Sie sind an der Reihe, sie aufzudecken, um herauszufinden, was sie verbergen. Beobachten Sie den Gegenstand aus allen Blickwinkeln, indem Sie die Maustaste gedrückt halten und die Maus verschieben. Zoomen Sie heran, indem Sie im Gegenstandsbereich klicken. Zoomen Sie mit der rechten Maustaste weg oder indem Sie auf das Symbol Pfeil klicken. Einige Elemente bewegen sich. Okay.
The till does not appear to have been touched. I have to check that nothing is missing from it. Something is preventing the drawer from opening. It would be best to examine the rest of the till. Ah, a mechanism has just made a fan click.
Sowas finde ich immer ganz toll, ne?
The till is full of money, but there is something strange. Something is hidden underneath. Something is hidden underneath. Something is hidden underneath.
Ja, aber wie kriege ich das da weg? Ach, Moment, muss ich da... 8, 5, 8.
I need to find the code.
Ja. Das Ding da? 8. Achso, ich muss meine 8. 8, 5, 2. Okay. Danke. Ihr seid alle schneller als ich. Das ist ja voll tragisch.
This must be the key to the back of the shop.
Ja, hab ich doch gerade, Arudinian. Nein, da will ich nicht hin. Ich will hier hin.
The door is locked.
Ich würde den gerne benutzen.
The door is locked.
Hallo, dafür habe ich doch den Schlüssel.
The door.
Hey, hey, hey.
Blood. Did Alice Asher suffer from nosebleeds? An inscription in German. Souvenir of our honeymoon in the Black Forest. To my Alice forever, Franz Asher. The Ashers were a lovely couple when they were young. Such a pretty decoration should be at the center of the motif to respect the symmetry.
Das nicht mal einen netten Hinweis.
The wooden flower is preventing the circle from turning.
Ja. So. Kann ich dich jetzt eigentlich schon bewegen? Ja. So, Moment, so. Hallo. So, das stimmt auch nicht immer. Ja, ich soll das so einstellen, dass es genau, dass die Blumen in der Mitte ankommen. Ich weiß nur noch nicht, wie ich das hinkriege. Also der geht dahin. Also ich muss irgendwie... Der war das nicht, der war das, ne? Ne, der passt auch nicht. Hä? Passt da nicht irgendwer davon? Kann ich das eigentlich auch mit... Ne. Mit dem Ding kann ich es nicht bewegen. toll. Jetzt passt das wieder nicht. Ohr juckt. Ich scheitere jetzt schon mal sehr kläglich. So, wenn ich jetzt mal wegen den nehmen. Welchen müsste ich dann nehmen? Der wird daran passen. Der wird daran passen. Warum geht das nicht? Das hätte ja jetzt passen können, ne? Wenn ich da jetzt zurückgehe, stellt er das dann eigentlich wieder auf... Nein. Scheiße. Das wäre ja auch zu schön gewesen. Nein, würde das gehen? Jetzt kriege ich den da unten nicht wieder weg. Dass ich die auch mit dem Ding nicht verdrehen kann. Jetzt bin ich, glaube ich, auch gleich wieder da, wo ich angefangen habe, ne? So.
I heard a faint sound as if something was unlocked. It is blocked. It is blocked.
Scheint's ernst. Was soll ich denn jetzt mit den Vögeln machen?
It is blocked.
Stelle ich damit alles wieder zurück? Ich glaube ja. Was auch immer sich da tut, das klingt, als würde ich es damit zurückschieben. Also. Erst der. Clock. Dann der. Das war Glück.
From Mr. Adam Flint, Royal Bank, Eastfield Road, Andover. To Mrs. Alice Asher, 5 Bishops Road, Andover. Dear Mrs. Asher, further to your request of 12 February 1935, I have informed my superiors of your wish to apply for a loan to acquire the lease of the shop you rent from Mr. Fairfax. Despite the seriousness of your case, I regret to inform you that your request has been denied. The amount of your personal contribution, £11, is not high enough and represents too small a part of the final transaction. I remain at your disposal for any questions. Adam Flint. Mrs. Asher's meager savings were not enough for her to own the tobacco shop, but will largely cover her funeral costs.
Da, es ist sehr, sehr charmant. Ja, mein Ego steigt ständig.
Medicine.
Ja, wenn ich mich nicht irre, habe ich was von Laudanum gelesen.
Laudanum-based cough medicine, Mrs. Asher, and Dover Morley Laboratory, London. It's strange to find such an elaborate medicine from a leading London laboratory in the home of such a modest woman. What a strange box. It looks like you have to slide the slats of wood to open it.
Lass uns mal gucken, wo ich hier überhaupt irgendwas verschieben kann.
This button appears to activate the mechanism.
Mies, hörst du bitte auf, auch noch darüber zu lachen? Ich find's schlimm genug.
That should do it. Who is this young woman?
Aberdeen hat sich schon mal gleich komplett zurückgezogen.
To my dear Aunt Alice, Marie Drauer.
Have you found anything?
The victim has a niece. We must find her. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Aber da war doch noch was anderes. Ich möchte... Moment, ich will... Lass mich, da war noch was anderes in dieser Kiste.
I've finished with this subject.
Da waren Ohrringe drin. Mano. Ich kriege 3 Ego-Punkte, weil er sich im Spiegel anguckt. Muss ich da noch irgendwas zu sagen?
This interior is very simple.
Ja, das freue mich auch. Also wie kommt die an so hochkomplizierten Müll?
Mrs. Asher lived very simply.
Ich bin kein Klauschwein. Das stimmt nicht. Oh, da war ich schon. Das stimmt gar nicht. Weil da lagen noch Ohrringe drin. Was haben wir denn jetzt? Diebstahl ist nicht das Motiv des Verbrechens.
The motive is definitely not financial gain. There is no sign of a struggle, and the till has not been forced or emptied. I think I've looked everywhere here. Let us see if I can find any more information in the shop's surroundings.
Die Umgebung des Tabaksladens zu überprüfen. Na gut, Poirot. Was ist das eigentlich für ein Ding? Da steht jemand.
4 pence a letters, a lovely large letters, 4 pence only.
This woman appears to be a smoker.
Maybe you can stare at people like that where you come from, but here it's very rude.
Entschuldigung. Ich bin einfach nur nicht schnell genug.
She's a big smoker. She must have been a customer at the tobacco shop.
Rede ich mal mit ihr. Hallo? Fragen wir sie erst nach dem Preis für den Salaten, oder? Ich habe gedacht, ich muss an ihr gucken, Menno. Oder sollen wir ihr sagen, dass die Erdbeeren nicht frisch sind? Ich sage ihr gleich, dass die Erdbeeren nicht frisch sind. Die molteten da schon so vor dich hin.
Your strawberries appears to be rather soft.
Soft? The cheek of it. What are you trying to say?
Did you know Alice Asher well?
And for starters, who are you?
I'm Hercule Poirot, the detective.
You're foreign, that's for sure, with your accent and your odd way about you. And you're here about Alice's murder, I suppose. Well, I've nothing to say to you.
Did you speak to the victim yesterday?
No, I never saw her.
Ich bin mal freundlich, oder? Bin ich freundlich? Soll ich freundlich sein oder soll ich sie anmotzen? Weil sie doof ist. Ich soll sie beschuldigen? Echt jetzt? Aber sie beschuldigen, dass sie... Ja, okay.
I do not quite understand. You work next door to each other, but you do not see each other?
It's true. I didn't see her all day.
Aber wo kommen die Erdbeeren her? Dann muss das Opfer zu ihr gekommen sein.
I know that Alice Asher bought strawberries from you yesterday.
Well, you know more than I do then. Run along now. I have work to do.
Meh. Aber...
You again? I've nothing to say.
Nee. Gute Kuh.
Strawberries, 6 pence a pound.
Hey, Poirot. Is the greengrocer causing trouble? I'll sort her out.
No, please, leave her, Chief Inspector. I'll get her to talk later.
I found the victim's niece. She's waiting for you in the back of the shop.
Thank you, mon ami. I'll question her.
Kann ich die Erdbeeren anklicken? Nee. Leider nicht. Wir müssen warten, bis Prinzesschen sich beruhigt hat. Also quatschen wir erstmal mit der Nichte. Und ich glaube, Mietz, wir hätten so freundlich zu der sein können, wie wir wollen. Die hat uns trotzdem angemotzt. Wo ist die Leiche hin?
Jap had the body removed out of respect for the victim's niece. His attention is commendable.
Oh, der kann was. Hier heult schon wer. Muss ich die auch wieder anstarren?
Is her grief sincere? She appears to be very upset. She's dressed in mourning. She looks fragile.
Ja. Tut mir ein wenig leid. Ich frage sie mal nach ihrer Beziehung. Dann sie aufhören davon zu fordern, dass sie aufhört zu weinen, finde ich doof.
You were very fond of your aunt, am I right?
She was the only family I had since my mother died.
Ja, sie erbt sehr wahrscheinlich. Aber sollen wir einfach mal fragen, ob ihre Tante Kinder hatte? Ich wäre jetzt eher charmant. Also ich wäre jetzt nicht so, ja, du erbst übrigens. Sondern ich hätte ja jetzt eher gesagt, ach Mensch, hatte ihre Tante noch Kinderchen.
Your aunt did not have any children. Is that correct?
No, she was separated from her husband.
What do you think about Franz Asher, your aunt's husband?
He never left her alone. Poor aunt. She used to drop by all the time and make a scene.
Ich frage mal, ob sie Angst vor ihrem Mann hatte. Ich glaube, das ist besser. Ich will ihn jetzt nicht direkt beschuldigen. Das wäre zu offensichtlich. Also denke ich. Mir wäre das zu offensichtlich, wenn ich es jetzt sage.
Was your aunt afraid of her husband?
He shouted a lot, but she wasn't afraid of him. Why, he used to slink away when she turned on him. He was afraid of her, if you like.
Did your aunt enjoy good health?
She had a bad throat, but she was well cared for by a doctor in London.
Does Franz Asher work?
All he's done for years is drink and gamble, but he used to be a very good cabinet maker.
What does he live on?
My aunt used to give him 5 shillings a week.
Ich frage mal, ob sie gezwungen hat.
Did Franz Asher extort this money from her?
No, no, she didn't let him intimidate her. She gave the money quite willingly. He was her husband. She couldn't leave him with nothing.
I understand. You have been of great assistance, mademoiselle.
Ja, das kann ich mir auch denken. Ich meine, es wird ja noch weitergehen.
Please take this young lady home.
My pleasure.
Well, this Franz Asher does not seem to be quite so dangerous as Jeff says. And since Alice Asher gave him money regularly, it was not in his interest to kill her.
Ich meine, wenn man an das Buch auf dem Tresen denkt und so und...
The murderer probably pretended to be a customer. He hit the shopkeeper from behind as she turned around to serve him.
Wahnsinn, da wäre ich jetzt im Leben nicht drauf gekommen. Da fehlt schon wieder ein Indiz. Das mag ich nicht, wenn da Indizien fehlen. Ihre Tante war ihre einzige Familie. Aber er fürchtete seine Frau, ihre Tante. Ja, das stimmt. Er hätte die ganzen Schatullen herstellen können, aber da muss er wirklich geschickt gewesen sein. Das sieht mehr nach einem Säufer aus.
We have to wait for him to sleep it off. He's all yours, Poirot. There are a few things I need to check.
There must be some way of sobering him up.
I wonder what his wife used to do. He must have scared the customers away.
It's Alice Asher's notebook. Bodley. The fruit seller has debts too. She will probably be more cooperative thanks to this piece of information. Mary Drower was telling the truth. Mrs. Asher regularly gave money to her alcoholic husband. A box of new stockings. He's not in any condition to be questioned. I have to find a way to sober him up.
Das Laudanum, ne? Das ist mir auch gerade in den Kopf gekommen. Die Erdbeeren. Ich schmier ihm einfach mal die Erdbeeren ins Gesicht. Vielleicht weckt ihn das ja auch auf.
Medicine.
Kann ich das mitnehmen? Warum kann ich das nicht mitnehmen?
Medicine.
Ja, ich würde es gern mitnehmen, Poirot. Du bist so unglaublich hilfreich. Haben wir hier irgendwo kaltes Wasser stehen? Ja, beim Moment.
Mrs. Asher lived very simply.
Hier, da ist... Ach, du sollst doch nicht in den Spiegel gucken, du Troll. Also es ist Laudano will er nicht mitnehmen. Warum auch nicht? Warum auch immer nicht. Warum er das auch immer nicht möchte.
There are cigarettes.
Okay, ich gucke jetzt erstmal eine Tasse auf dem Tisch. Ich gucke gleich nochmal. Ich will mal eben zu dieser unfreundlichen Tante hier rüber. Vielleicht kaufe ich doch noch Erdbeeren. Ich beschuldige sie jetzt einfach mal, dass sie verdorbenes Obst verkauft. Weil am Mord zu beschuldigen, sie war es ja nicht.
Your fruit is rotten.
What? A foreigner dares to say that?
According to the victim's account book, you owed her £10 for tobacco and magazines.
That's a lie. She owed me £1. I swear.
Now, please be so kind as to explain this.
Look at my account book. Alice owed me £11 for fruit and vegetables. I may have had a slate at her shop, but she had one at mine. She owed me £1. And that reminds me I have to get it back from her niece.
That is quite enough. Your account book has saved you, but I might ask Chief Inspector Japp to throw you in the cells for 1 or 2 nights while he checks your entries. Do you want to go to prison?
Prison? Now that's not fair. I haven't done nothing.
In that case, I am counting on your full collaboration.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Listen, I didn't kill Alice, I swear. But it's true that I did go to the shop yesterday.
At what time?
6 o'clock. She left me a note saying she wanted some strawberries if I got some. I received them late, about 6. So I took them over to her.
But you did not see her.
She wasn't in the shop, so I just put the strawberries on the counter and left.
Ich kann sie ja nicht einfach des Diebstahls bezichtigen, obwohl da lagen Zigaretten rum.
Did you see anything unusual in the shop?
No. Well, maybe one thing. There was always a railway guide on the counter. Alice didn't sell them. Maybe it's the customer who left it there.
You were not alarmed?
I thought Alice had just gone to get her medicine from her room and that she'd be straight back.
You mentioned medicine.
Something for her cough. She used to take it a lot.
Who do you think killed her?
France. Her scoundrel of a husband. He was always after her for something. Well, he's a foreigner. Sorry, sir. What I mean is he's German. That's even worse.
Danke.
Did you see Franz Asher enter the tobacco shop late yesterday afternoon?
Well, no. But at that time of the day, the streets are packed, and I have better things to do than watch her shop.
Sehr charmant, die junge Dame. Deutsche sind definitiv noch schlimmer als alle anderen auf der ganzen Welt. Ich bin... Das ist... Ich weiß es... Ah! Was ist das da?
I'll just borrow your bottle a moment.
Take it. It's what Alice used to sober up her husband. But try not to empty the bottle.
Okay, und damit Essig. Damit haben wir jetzt auch endlich einen Gegenstand, womit wir den jungen Mann wieder nüchtern kriegen. Ich bin ja... Bin ich ja. Franz, aufstehen. Guten Morgen.
Mes amis, I can say without a doubt that poor Mrs. Asher was killed between 5:30 and 6.
Killed when the street was packed with people. That's rather bold.
I've been talking to the neighbours, and...
No one's seen anything? Or rather, it's anything and everything. Am I wrong?
No.
Oh, der arme Hastings.
Yeah. We must grill this villain Asher before he falls asleep again.
Ich fühle mich gerade immer so ein bisschen angesprochen, weil ich weiß, dass er jetzt Deutscher ist. Aber hätte man sich
This man
eigentlich,
is in rather a bad state.
man sich eigentlich schon denken können. Immerhin, Hochzeitsreise in... Hallo?
This man has been fighting and he smells of alcohol.
Eine Hochzeitsreise in den Schwarzwald, da hätte man sich ja nicht denken können, dass er Deutscher ist. Also gut. Was haben Sie gestern Abend gemacht?
What were you doing yesterday at the time of the crime?
Can't recall.
Ich beschuldigen, betrunken zu sein. Ich frage ihn mal nicht.
Come on, my friend. Try to remember. It is important.
I'm really sorry, sir, but I don't remember a thing.
I see. But maybe you do remember threatening to kill your wife?
So what? You shouldn't take things so seriously, sir. Nothing but empty threats. We didn't get on all that badly.
Are you often involved in fights?
I don't know what you mean.
Nein, wir beschuldigen ihn mal.
Asher, look me in the eye and tell me that you were in a fight.
I'm looking. No, I wasn't in a fight.
You are right. Looking at the state of you, you did not defend yourself. So someone gave you a good beating.
A beating? No way. All right, he tore my coat and gave me a black eye. You see the state of him.
Very interesting. Who is the other that you struck?
Probably best if I tell you everything. Yesterday afternoon, I met Roderick Tanner. We'd bet on a dog fight together.
An illegal bet, naturally.
Yes, sir. Our dog won. Roderick got the money, but he refused to give me my share.
And you fought about it. What time was this?
In the evening, about 6, I think. We were on the other side of town. You see, I couldn't have killed my wife.
Asher's alibi appears to be confirmed. All the same, I'm going to call and check that he did have a fight with this Tanner on the afternoon of the murder. You can never trust this sort of chap.
One thing is certain, Asher was a ruffian who used to beat his wife.
But he's not very educated. It certainly was not him who wrote the letter signed ABC. Let's resume, Hastings. We know the murderer pretended to be a customer. He did not kill her for money, that appears to be certain.
I agree with you on that point.
And the murderer left an ABC guide as a signature. Therefore, it's likely he wrote the letter.
Indeed, but that doesn't explain why and how he did it.
You are quite right. Why he did it is a mystery. But as for how he did it, we do know enough to try and reconstruct the events.
Katzenauge. Ach du. Ich brauche Hilfe. Rekonstruieren Sie den Verlauf des Verbrechens, indem Sie die möglichen Aktionen des Mörders auswählen. Okay. Ich bin ja froh, dass ich das
The
nicht
killer
alleine machen muss.
enters the shop. Mrs. Asher turns around to greet her customer. The murderer asks her for some tobacco. She turns her back to him. He seizes the opportunity to strike her. He then places the ABC upside down before leaving. Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Danke, Poirot. Ist aber noch reicht. Ich will nicht Hastings nennen. Okay, das ging ja noch. Ich fürchte nur, es wird nicht leichter werden.
Asher has a strong alibi and we don't have any other suspect. But what was the point of this crime?
She had no debts. She gave Franz Asher money regularly. She wasn't owed money. Nobody stood to gain anything.
No doubt about it, the murderer is insane.
And I fear that we had not heard the last of him.
I hope you're wrong for once.
Bien, let's go back to London. If we hurry, we should catch the 7:02 train. Are you coming?
No, unfortunately, I have to talk with Andover police.
See you soon, then. Are you coming, Hastings? Let's go home. There's nothing for us here.
Well, do you have any idea about the killer's identity?
The crime was committed by a man of medium height, with red hair and suspicious eyes. He has a slight limp on the right foot and a wart just below his shoulder blade.
Poirot!
Mon ami, what do you want? You fix upon me a look of dog-like devotion and demand of me a pronouncement à la Sherlock Holmes. Now for the truth. I do not know what the murderer looks like, nor where he lives, nor how to set hands upon him.
What shall we do, then?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Do not be so impatient, Hastings. The killer will manifest himself soon enough.
I thought I heard the postman. Maybe there's some news.
I will go and see.
Wie er da steht, ich finde den Poirot sehr... Ich finde Poirot sehr charmant.
Daily Flicker, June the 22nd, 1935. Battle over control of bank system. What will the government do for money? Andover, murder of a tobacconist.
Ich habe eine Errungenschaft freigeschaltet. Zeitung.
It is now the right time.
Ja, ich gehe ja schon in die Tür. Oh, da liegt wieder ein Brief. Ist noch irgendwer von euch beiden da? Oder hängt mein Chat einfach nur wieder? Das kann auch sein.
Dear Mr. Poirot, well, what do you think? I believe that I won this round. The Andover affair went like clockwork, don't you feel? But the fun has only just started. I would like to draw your attention to Bexhill-on-Sea on the 25th of this month. We're having a crazy time. Best wishes, ABC. The next crime will be in Bexhill. We must warn Jap to Scotland Yard.
Did the letter indicate anything that might help the police?
To be honest, I think we can already guess something about the next victim. But I need to think about it a little more.
Der steht immer da, als hätte er einen Arsch, einen Stock im Arsch. Aber ich finde ihn sehr charmant. Überlegungen. Okay,
Let us examine this more closely.
Okay.
Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects.
Das I ist komisch.
Yes, this I is weird.
Und das A auch.
Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual.
Okay, mit dem Komma kann ich nichts tun.
Let us examine the characters in this word. Let us examine the... The W is not printed properly. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual.
Ja.
Let us examine the characters in this word. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. Yes, this I is weird. However, the characters in the two words do not match. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual. The W is not printed properly.
Achso, du meinst, dass ich
Right.
alles...
Let us compare this with the other. Yes, the A. Yes, the A. Let us examine the characters in this word.
Irgendwie habe ich das Gefühl, ich übersehe was.
Yes, this I is weird.
Arudinian, dass du
Right. Let us compare.
dass du hinterher bist, ist vollkommen normal. Das habe ich mir fast gedacht, dass das nächste Opfer mit BB, die BB-Initialen hätten, Bexhill und so.
Let us examine the characters in this word.
Das ist normal, weil ich mir einen Zeitpuffer eingebaut habe. Das macht der Stream automatisch, damit die Leute nicht irgendwie
Let us examine the characters in this.
Backseat Gaming machen können. Heißt mir
Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual.
Dinge erzählen können, die ich vielleicht noch gar nicht wissen will.
The W is not printed properly. Let us examine the characters in this. Yes, the I characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Ja, Backseat Gaming. Das bedeutet so viel wie, naja, wenn du zum Beispiel, oder man nennt das auf Deutsch auch gerne Beifahrerprinzip. Wenn du fährst, siehst du längst nicht die Dinge, die du siehst, wenn du nicht fährst. Ein Beifahrer sieht immer mehr.
Yes, the...
Und das Gleiche ist es auch...
Right. Let us compare.
Das Gleiche ist es auch beim Backseat Gaming. Die Leute erzählen dir einfach alles.
That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to...
Heißt, die spoilern dich.
The W is not printed properly.
Ja, und halt dieses ständige, wie meine
Right.
Mythizidischen
Let
sagt.
us go...
Du musst das so machen und du musst das so machen und du musst jetzt da klicken und du musst
Of
dahin.
course, the W characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. My theory was right. These two letters were written with the same typewriter. Both letters were written on the same typewriter and show the same characteristics.
You surprise me, Poirot. You usually ignore material proof.
But there is nothing usual about this case, Hastings. Nothing must be overlooked. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Was war so besonders an dem Mord? Enter und Alice Asher beginnen mit einem A. Das ist mit B anfängt.
So, Poirot, have you found something?
Oui, I believe so. But I am afraid it is not enough to stop the murderer. Let us go and see Chief Inspector Japp. I will explain there.
Wie gehe ich denn jetzt dahin? Whitehaven. Okay, jetzt weiß ich endlich, wo wir wohnen. Ach, ich warte. Oh, wie läuft denn die hübsche Dame? Wahrscheinlich muss ich dieses Taxi nehmen.
To Scotland Yard, please.
Aber den ja rein zeittechnisch hier bei Poirot gibt es ja schon Autos. Wenn ich mich nicht ganz irre, ist Holmes doch immer mit Kutschen gefahren, oder? Also sind die zeittechnisch doch ein bisschen auseinander.
Jap appears to be snowed under.
Okay, 40 Jahre tatsächlich so. Boah.
Jap appears to already be overloaded with work. My news is not going to improve matters.
Es wird immer wieder Detektive geben.
Bonjour, Chief Inspector. I am afraid we have some bad news. I have just received another letter signed ABC. The next crime will be on the 25th in Bexhill-on-Sea.
Are you completely sure it's from the same person?
I have compared the two letters. There is no doubt about it.
I suppose you think he's going to carry out his threats.
I fear so.
Good God, Poirot. Bexhill is very busy at this time of year, and we have no idea who the next victim will be.
I suspect that the name of the second victim will start with B.
What on earth makes you think such a thing?
I thought about it when I saw the name Asher clearly written over the shop door of the unfortunate woman who was murdered in Andover last month. When I received a letter mentioning Bexhill, I deduced that the victim, like the town, might have been chosen by alphabetical order.
So it's an alphabet fiend. I'm going to have a list drawn up of all the people whose name starts with B. I hope there aren't too many of them.
Bien, we should leave you to work, Chief Inspector.
You have a few days to prepare yourself.
Thank you for coming, my friends.
Wie ich einfach alle mit einem B im Namen in den Knast gesperrt hätte.
Poirot?
Chief Inspector Jap, your call does not bode well.
Indeed, we have just found the body of a young woman on the beach in Bexhill. An ABC was placed on the body.
We'll be there as soon as possible.
Bexhill is a delightful town. It would be nice to come back and visit.
I do not entirely agree. Walking at the beach damages my shoes, and it hurts my knee.
So the years have not spared you, my friend. It's the same for all of us.
That is exactly what I said to myself when I saw you back from your travels.
Poirot!
Do not be offended, Hastings. I can see Jap waiting for us. And from his face, I would say that things are not looking good.
Bahnverbindung? Okay. Ich lasse mich überraschen. Ich kann verschiedene Schnurrbärte freischalten, wie putzig.
How do you do, gentlemen?
Chief Inspector?
I fear your admirer has struck again, Poirot. We haven't yet identified the victim, but it's a young woman, 20 to 25 years old. Death occurred last night between 11:30 and 1 o'clock, and we found an ABC guide on the body.
Was she pretty?
Come on, Poirot, that's rather out of place. It has no bearing on the murder.
Are you certain? For women, it is often the most important thing. It often decides their destiny.
The body hasn't been moved. You can see for yourself.
Has the press been informed?
Der Jet?
Not yet, but I'm planning to. I haven't yet informed them about the presence of the ABC guide in Andover.
Nobody has reported a young woman missing?
Not for the moment.
No witnesses, I imagine.
Indeed. We've asked everybody who may have met a young woman fitting her description last night to come and see us, but I have little hope of gaining anything from it.
It's early days, Chief Inspector, and the news may not have spread around the town yet.
I hope you're right, Hastings.
Sieht unrasiert aus. Das fällt mir auf. Da ist eine Krabbe. Krabbel, 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 krabbel. Wo ist sie weg?
A braided silk belt. It may have belonged to the victim. These marks have been left by a rope or a braided cloth.
Okay, sie wurde erdrosselt. So viel
She was a great beauty. Strange that chap didn't notice it. The guide is open as the page for the Bexhill train times.
Ach, Kursbuch. Ich habe da mal was anderes drunter verstanden. Kursbuch.
The young woman wasn't wearing shoes or a coat and was not carrying a bag. That's strange.
Sollte die nicht eigentlich auch
Either the murderer stole her belongings or she put them somewhere safe. Maybe so that she could bath.
Irgendwie sieht das hier so aus, als würde hier ein Gürtel fehlen.
This key is too small to be one for a house. Without a doubt, it is for a padlock. The young woman wasn't. Either the murderer. Apart from the marks on her neck, there are no signs of the struggle. She didn't manage to hit her assailant. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Auf welche Weise wurde das Opfer sie wohl erdrosselt? Sie hat sich nicht gewehrt. Mit ihrem eigenen... Ach, das war der Gürtel.
The poor child must have been strangled with his braided belt. Unfortunately, in view of the fabric, it is unlikely that we will find any prints. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Welche gemeinsamen Punkte? Okay. Ist ja wohl irgendwie klar. Und vom selben Täter begangen? Ja.
The medical officer should confirm that the victim was strangled with her own belt.
That's what I thought. She shows the usual signs of strangulation.
With a little luck, we'll find prints this time.
You are too optimistic, Hastings. Our killer is far too meticulous for that. There is no doubt about it. Bexhill has one of the... This hut is locked.
Was ist denn nur schon wieder eine Schmarre? Gucken wir das Ding mal an. Was ist eine? Ah ne, ist eine 6. Okay, Moment. 7, 6. Ach, eine Schramme. Das Ding ist verkehrt rum.
The number is upside down. This is definitely at number 6.
Was ist das hier? Ach, 715. Ja, jetzt sehe ich es auch.
A dual locking padlock. I need to find the...
7, 1. 5. Sieh mal, einer guckt, da liegt eine Handtasche.
It definitely was here that the victim left her belongings. Betty's first day at work. Mom is very proud of you. Elizabeth Barnard, 7 August 1931.
Also heißt die junge Dame
So,
Betty
the
Bernard.
young lady did have a name starting with B, and she worked as a ginger cat, an establishment that must be slightly further along the beach. The purse is full. Yet again, we can dismiss theft as the motive for the murder. Here is the watch she must have removed to prevent it from getting wet. A top brand lipstick. She liked to take care of her appearance. As well as a photo of the victim with some company. It could be useful to me.
Wie viele Opfer hat's denn da gegeben?
Jap has gone to the police. The victim has been identified and her family had reported her disappearance. She was called?
Elizabeth Barnard, mainly Betty. She worked as a ginger cat at the cafe slightly further along the beach.
But Poirot, how on earth?
Never mind. Do you have her address?
Yes, she lived with her parents on the street leading to the beach, number 22. Shall we go?
You are far too impatient, Hastings. Let the poor people take in the news first. Let us go and visit the cafe where Betty worked.
Wie der guckt. Ah. Ja, da liegt das gar nicht hin. Du könntest so ein bisschen schneller gehen. Könntest bitte irgendjemand diese arme Frau hier wegbringen? Da krabbel, 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 krabbel. Das ist ja schon ein sehr abgeschlossener Bereich. Rustikale
I'll be with you in a minute, gentlemen.
Gut, dann gucke ich mich hier noch mal ein bisschen um, ne?
This is a well-laid table. Nothing is out of place and, above all, no creases. Something tells me that she's the owner of the ginger cat. This woman must be the owner of the ginger cat. It looks like something is bothering her.
How can I help you?
A hot chocolate and a tea for my friend, please.
I'll bring it straight away.
Sehr sympathisch.
I need to know the time range during which Betty was working on her own. Where is Betty? Betty worked from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Would she have been alone at any time during her service? No, this person is not the last one to have worked with Betty. Interesting. Betty was alone between 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Who did she serve?
Das werden wir wohl kaum hier rausfinden.
These are the different waiting staff's bills. Which ones were written by Betty? Where is Betty? Betty worked from 11 a.m.
Sie hat schon eine recht auffällige Schrift, weil sie alles so zusammenschreibt.
Most probably a family. This bill may have been written by Betty. There is probably another one. No, something's not right. Betty was alone at just one of... Most probably a single man, a whiskey lover. Maybe the murderer? This bill may have been written...
Ja, diese hier.
Most probably a family. Betty served a family and a man on his own, a whiskey drinker. Maybe the murderer. This information will help me to progress.
But, gentlemen, what are you doing?
We are searching for clues, mademoiselle. My name is Hercule Poirot. I am a detective, and this is Captain Hastings. Does Betty Barnard work here?
That is correct. She should have been here a while ago. Punctuality is the first rule of politeness.
I fear that Miss Barnard will not be coming today. She has just been found, dead, on the beach a few hundred meters from the cafe.
How awful. Poor young thing. What happened?
She appears to have been murdered.
This is most distressing. How this will affect my business, I shudder to think.
Ich frage sie mal direkt.
What can you tell us about Miss Barnard?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. Miss Barnard was my employee. Her private life was none of my business.
You did know at least that she had a young man.
Indeed.
This photo was found. Is this him?
Yes, that's him all right. But I haven't seen him for some time.
I find young people today very hard to understand.
You needn't tell me that. A few weeks ago, they argued just outside the cafe. Imagine what my customers must have thought.
I hope for you that it was an isolated incident. It must be difficult to keep a respectable establishment if your staff show themselves to be so shameless.
The young man only made a scene the once. Jealousy, no doubt. It must be said the young girl was very pretty.
Thank you for your time, Mademoiselle Mérion. You have been of great help.
The customer who ordered the whiskey might provide us more information. He may have been the last one to see Betty alive.
It is an interesting idea, Hastings. Maybe he is a regular guest. What do you think, mademoiselle?
I don't think so. Our regular guests tend to order tea and cakes. At this time of the year, there are a lot of tourists about you never see again.
That's what I thought. Time to visit Betty's home.
Okay. Okay. Wir tun mal, was wir können. Ich glaube, Poirot ist, glaube ich, eher so der, ich will jetzt nicht sagen scheinheilige Typ, aber, naja, ich glaube, er ist nicht so, er versucht bei Gesprächen, glaube ich, eher so ein bisschen hintenrum zu sein, klingt blöd, aber, ja, die Leute schon in einer gewissen Ruhe zu bewahren. So wie jetzt auch darauf einzugehen, dass sie sich ja Sorgen machen muss. Okay, 22 ist das hier hinten. Wenn Hastings immer so nett vorgeht, dann können wir mir gar nicht mehr verlaufen hier. Ach, Hastings, wenn ich sie nicht hätte.
How do you do, mademoiselle? My name is Hercule Poirot.
I know you. You're that detective we hear all about.
I do not know if that is a compliment, but I will take it as one for now. You are Betty's sister, I believe?
Yes. My name is Megan.
Can we come in?
Please do. My parents are at the police station. I doubt they'll be up to speaking to you later.
Do not worry, we will not bother them.
Did you know your sister's plans for yesterday evening?
No. I arrived by train this morning. My parents called me in a panic when they discovered that Betty had disappeared. She went out last night, but she didn't tell them where she was going.
What was your last conversation about?
Her new dress. She wanted a pair of black stockings to go with it. Mother brought her a pair. The very day it happened. She was crying. And to think that Betty never even wore them. Poor Mummy.
Moment mal. Hatte dieser komische Typ nicht, dieser Franz Escher, nicht irgendwie Strumpfhosen dabei? Ja, schon wieder Strumpfhosen. Ich sehe...
What is she feeling at the moment?
Ich sehe Ähnlichkeiten.
Betty's older sister is not just sad, she's angry.
Strumpfhosen. Was hat das denn jetzt mit den Strumpfhosen zu tun?
Did Betty go out often?
My sister wasn't a child, sir. She used to go out. She enjoyed films, dancing. She was a very good girl who didn't hang around with men. That's what they always say, no?
The pain is making you bitter, Mademoiselle Barnard.
I'm not interested in your compassion, Mr. Poirot.
Très bien, mademoiselle. Could you at least tell me a little about Betty's young man?
His name is Donald Fraser, a very nice young man. Oh, excuse me, I have to answer that.
But of course.
Betty's room is opposite the stairs on the first floor. Feel free to take a look if you think it might be useful.
This young woman is far too clever not to have anything else for us.
Do you think she's hiding something?
That is what I'm trying to find out.
Surely you don't think she did it?
I did not say anything of the sort. But young women always ruin your judgment, Hastings. Who knows, maybe Megan was jealous of her attractive young sister.
I see. She may have had her sights on the inheritance. Or maybe she was in love with Donald Fraser.
We have to study all scenarios, even the most unlikely. But I doubt that Mr. and Mrs. Barnard are rich enough to justify murder. While I try and get Miss Barnard to talk, I would like you to try and find Donald Fraser. He should be easy to find the estate agents where he works. Bring him to the Ginger Cat. I would like to talk with him before the Chief Inspector finds him.
Nun denn.
Looking at all the clothes she took out, Betty must have had a problem deciding what to wear. Maybe she had a date?
Ein Schäferstillchen.
A box of new stockings.
Diese Strumpfhosen.
A box of new stockings.
Da steht irgendwer auf Strumpfhosen.
It looks like Betty has a very busy life. Betty liked luxury and going out, and being as pretty as she was, She probably did not have any problem getting herself invited. It looks like Betty was also a music lover, the same as her family. Without a doubt, Betty used to sing.
Da wäre ich jetzt so gar nicht drauf gekommen, Poirot. Gut, dass du mir das erzählst.
A record sleeve with an handwritten title. Betty must have recorded the demo. I'd be interested to hear it. A record sleeve.
Du nimmst doch einfach mit.
Something on this clock bothers me. This wooden panel is blocked. What a strange mechanism. I don't think it serves to turn the hands. The cogs are blocked by... The cogs are blocked.
Das ist ein Strumpfhosen-Fetischist, ganz bestimmt.
This wooden panel is blocked. There, that's better. This metal disc is stuck. This wooden panel is blocked. This decoration appears to be...
Warum lässt sich der eine aufdrehen?
This wooden panel is blocked. This wooden panel is blocked. This decoration appears to... This decoration appears to be...
Oh Gott. Okay, also müsste ich das jetzt... dahin? Und jetzt müsste sich das drehen
This
lassen?
decoration appears...
Ich verstehe das nicht. Ich verstehe das nicht.
The cogs are blocked by... This decoration appears to be... This metal disc is...
Ich verstehe das nicht. Da kann ich jetzt nichts mehr machen.
This decoration appears to...
Dein Ernst.
This decoration appears to...
Wo kriegt man solche Mobiliare her,
This decoration appears to be...
wo man alles drehen und wenden und drücken kann?
Could the screw be slightly loose? Could the screw... Good. It should be possible to... Look! A key.
Was ist das?
This could be useful.
Für was? Okay, jetzt habe ich einen Schlüssel.
The central cog is blocked. The cogs are blocked by these wooden panels. The cogs are blocked. The cogs are blocked.
Dann nimm die da doch raus.
The cogs are blocked by these wooden panels.
Oh Gott, sowas hasse ich ja, ne?
This metal disc is stuck.
Was bist du?
This code probably has something to do with the mechanism above the clock. This code probably...
Okay. 1, 2, 2, 3.
No, the key does not fit. I definitely need an object to make...
Ja. Hab ich doch.
The central cog... Ah! Something clicked on the front of the clock. A new lock has appeared. What does it open?
Wer baut sowas? Ohne Scheiß, wer baut denn sowas?
This could be useful. Betty, I enjoyed a wonderful evening in your company, and I hope that we will see each other again very soon. D. My dearest Betty, I know that your art is already spoken for, but you are the most beautiful dancer I have ever had the pleasure of meeting, and I am impatient to see you again. Adrian.
Adrian Monk. Ich möchte auch so hübsch sein, dass mich alle Männer begehren.
Betty, I enjoy... My dearest Betty.
Ich möchte auch so sein. Jetzt guckt ihr schon wieder in die Spiele, das wollte ich gar nicht. Nicht ein Buch.
Looking at all...
Da guckt er wieder in den Spiegel, das will ich ja nicht. Ach, nicht schon wieder.
Medicine to prevent voice loss. Did Betty have problems with her voice? This small key should be useful to me. I've finished with this subject.
Sich Bettys Schallplatte anhören.
A record sleeve with an written title. A record sleeve.
Dann nimm es doch einfach mit.
A record sleeve.
Dann halt nicht. Wie irgendwo ein Plattenspieler.
Let us see. What is this cupboard hiding? This looks like solfège. This looks like solfège. I cannot open it.
Hallo, ich würde das gern...
It looks like something goes in here.
Ja, okay.
That doesn't work. I must have forgotten a step. That doesn't work. This looks like solfège.
Ja, das sieht wohl nicht nur so aus, es ist wahrscheinlich auch Musiklehrer.
There is bound to be a clue somewhere. I heard the sound of a mechanism being triggered.
Ja. Okay, dafür müssen wir aber erst irgendwie... Oh Gott, oh Gott, oh
It
Gott.
looks like something goes in here.
Warum macht man sowas mit mir?
That doesn't work. I must have... That doesn't work. This looks like solfège. That doesn't work.
Moment, auf der Schallplatte stand was drauf. 78T. Warum macht man sowas? Kann mir bitte irgendjemand darauf antworten?
I just have to put the record on the gramophone and start it. That doesn't work.
Warum wirkt das denn nicht?
That doesn't work.
Nein, da wollte ich doch gar nicht hin.
That doesn't work.
Manchmal tue ich Dinge, die ich nicht tun will. Ja. Ja, schlimmer als Grimtail sind die auf jeden Fall. Nein, ich will... Ich gehe noch da weg. Ich will doch auf den Knopf da drücken. Nein, hör doch bitte damit auf. Immer wieder. Ist das denn sein Scheiß Ernst? Da will ich doch überhaupt nicht hin. Kann er bitte diese scheiß Tür zumachen? Die kriegt mich gerade sowas von auf.
Oh, Donald. We're in the middle of recording.
Sorry, Betty, but it's not wise. The doctor said you should rest your voice.
You're such a killjoy sometimes.
Es tut mir leid.
Betty was such a good singer.
It's true. Did she have any problem with her throat?
Yes, she had to be careful with her voice. Of course, she didn't follow the doctor's advice. If Don didn't insist, she... Well, it's too late for all that now.
Ich will kein Grammophon. Was ist das? Grammophone sind grauenhaft. Wer braucht schon Grammophon?
It looks like this woman is single, but she has feelings for someone. She is looking so intensely at this photo. But is it really a sister that she's studying in this manner?
Kult. Ernsthaft.
They made the perfect couple, am I correct?
Yes, in a way. She was pretty and he...
Well?
He's a bright man, with a promising career ahead of him. He would have made Betty a good husband. He was always attentive and generous. Oh, a true gentleman.
I hear a note of envy in your voice.
You must have heard wrong.
Donald appeared to be very much in love with your sister.
Yes, he was mad about her.
Mad, you say? Being madly in love can often be destructive, and Mr. Fraser was known for being jealous, I believe.
No more than average. Men are always slightly possessive, especially when they are with a pretty woman.
I am not your enemy, Mademoiselle Bernard.
And you are not my friend either, Mr. Poirot, sir.
Yes, but your lies are not helping Mr. Fraser, or you, for that matter.
Das ist jetzt eine gute Frage. Schützt sie ihn? Natürlich schützt sie ihn, sie sind verliebt. Aber müssen wir ihr sagen, dass es da noch eine andere Frau gibt, die auch schon auf so komische Art und Weise ums Leben gekommen ist? I don't know.
I know that Fraser was jealous, but I wonder why you feel the need to protect him.
Protect him? I hope you're not suggesting...
That you are Fraser's accomplice? There is nothing to suggest that, at least not yet. It would appear that your sister's murder is the second in a series that we have to stop as quickly as possible. The first was in Andover, and the same as your sister, the murderer sent me a letter informing me that a crime would be committed in that town. Now can I count on your honesty?
Yes, you have my confidence, Mr. Poirot. Don is a quiet and sensitive young man. Slightly reserved, too. And as is often the case with reserved people, when he flew into a temper, he completely lost control. He could be so violent. Betty was frightened.
And when was this?
The first time was about a year ago. But they rowed more recently. Donald found out that Betty had lied to him. She said she was going out with a girlfriend, but she went out for dinner with a married man. It was an awful scene. She told him that until they were married, she was free to go with whoever she pleased. Donald turned quite pale and started shaking and kept saying one day...
Well?
He'd commit murder.
So you were afraid that he would become our main suspect? I know that Fraser was jealous, but I wonder why you feel the need to protect him.
Exactly. Had you not told me about the case, I would never have dared to tell you about this little matter. Don loved Betty with all his heart. I can't imagine for one instant that he would hurt her.
Very good, Mademoiselle Barnard. Thank you for your help.
Fraser is at the Ginger Cat. The police haven't spoken to him, but they want to.
Très bien, Hastings. Let's see him now. Au revoir, mademoiselle. My deepest condolences to your parents.
Of course, Mr. Poirot. And don't be too hard on Don. He's more fragile than he looks.
If you say so.
Da ist jemand aber sehr verliebt. Was hatte Betty an ihrem Abend vor? Sie war wahrscheinlich mit jemandem verabredet. Sie ging häufig aus. Und sie ging mit anderen Männern aus. Kannte Betty einen Angreifer? Zu dieser Zeit gibt es viele Besucher. Nein. Der hat sie verführt?
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Was steckt hinter Megan Bernards Verhalten? Sie ist verliebt. Nein, sie verehrte ihre Schwester. Warum ist es das nicht? Sie ist intelligent und sie liebt ihre Schwester. Ja gut, dass sie eifersüchtig war, ist ja das eine, aber deswegen halte ich sie nicht dafür fähig, jemanden zu ermorden. Schon gar nicht ihre eigene Schwester. Also, tut mir leid. Ja, ich gehe ja schon.
You've seen Fraser, Hastings. What is your feeling?
He's a big chap. Fragile isn't exactly the word that springs to mind. I talked to his landlady before seeing him. She went to bed at 11. Fraser wasn't home yet.
Bien. Megan Barnard said he is a reserved character but with a nasty temper. We will see if this is the case.
Okay, dann schmeißt du dich mal ins Bettchen. Ich werde noch ein wenig weiter rätseln, in der Hoffnung, dass ich hier noch ein bisschen weiterkomme. Nacht. Süße Träumchen in der neuen Matratze und so.
How do you do, Mr. Fraser?
You're Hercule Poirot. Mr. Hastings said you wanted to speak to me.
Yes. I know that it may not be the right time, but I would like to ask you a few questions.
Gucken wir uns den Kerl doch mal an.
This man looks suspicious.
Nein, ich will selbst rausfinden, wer der Mörder ist. Und hier ist noch irgendwas.
Leave me alone.
Nein, dass ich nicht. Lass mich gucken.
Donald Fraser is in a terrible state, as if he hadn't slept all night. And he's drinking White Horse.
Leave me alone.
Hatte ich gerade gesagt, dass ich das nicht tue?
Tell me that it's a mistake. That Betty isn't dead.
Sadly, your lady friend has been murdered, Mr. Fraser.
Oh, Betty, if only you'd listened.
If she had listened to you, she would still be alive. Should I take that to be a confession?
With that sort of thinking, you must send a lot of innocent men to prison. Under different circumstances, I might even find you amusing, sir.
It's no time for amusement, Mr. Fraser. It is time to find your fiance's killer. Did you know what her plans were for the evening?
She said she was having dinner with her sister.
And you believed her?
And why not, sir? She was my fiancée.
That did not stop her from lying to you before. Betty was not a bad girl, but she did like to take advantage of her success with men.
How dare you sully her memory?
Memory. Wo kommt der denn her?
Please excuse me if I appear to be brutal. I understand that this is a difficult time for you.
So you understand why I don't feel like talking, Mr. Poirot?
Ah, I knew I'd find you here, Poirot. I thought the victim's young man was here.
Yes, is all yours, Chief Inspector. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Romantischer Beichtstuhl. Also ich kriege hier... Ah. Er war sehr in sie verliebt. Kein Alibi. Eifersucht. Hat er ein Alibi? Nein, hat er nicht. Hatte Donald ein Motiv? Was er sehr in sie verliebt war? Nein. Für beide Morde nicht. Okay, kehren wir. Mietz, bist du noch da? Mietz. Hey, Mietz, wir sind alleine.
Fraser doesn't have an alibi and he's extremely jealous.
You are very skilled at summing up.
And yet you haven't asked Jap to arrest him.
It is too soon. But I agree, without the letters announcing the crimes, Fraser would already be behind bars. Bon, I think we have enough elements. Let's reconstruct the events at the scene of the crime.
I can't imagine how the murderer wasn't seen, though. Surely she must have struggled.
Let us try and imagine the scene.
Und schläfst noch nicht? Wer ist der Mörder?
The killer and the victim are walking on the beach. Miss Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 5. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 6. Miss Betty enters the hut. She leaves without her belongings. Then she hides a code. They keep walking. Then she removes her belt.
The murderer moves behind her and then attacks her by surprise. The body falls, lifeless, on the sand.
Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Aber warum hat sie ihren Gürtel abgenommen? Wollte die mit ihm dann eine Nummer schieben? Ich meine, das kann deswegen jetzt den Gürtel dran lassen können.
Without the ABC, we might have suspected Mr. Asher and Mr. Fraser. But by signing his crimes, the murderer is making sure he's accused. In a way, it is very generous of him.
Generous? The murderer seduced Betty in order to lure her to the beach and kill her.
Indeed, the young woman was certainly careless, but not stupid enough to follow a stranger.
What are you planning to do, Poirot?
Return to London, mon cher Hastings.
Meinst du? Wegen der... Das kann natürlich sein. Irgendwie finde ich das alles schon sehr merkwürdig.
Right, back to London. There is nothing more for us to do here.
Jap has decided to reveal details to the press. The alphabet murder is now famous.
It is not a bad idea. The more people who know, the greater our chances of finding out something of interest.
Poirot, I have a bad feeling.
Ich auch.
Poor Mr. Poirot, not so good at these little criminal matters as you thought yourself, are you? Rather past your prime, perhaps. Let us see if you can do any better this time. This time, it's an easy one. Churston on the 30th. Do try and do something about it. It's a bit dull having it all my own way, you know. Good hunting. Ever yours, ABC. Good hunting. Did you hear that, Poirot? The murderer seems to be taking it all as a game, a challenge. He will strike on 30th in Churston. We must warn Scotland Yard.
By the way, Hastings, what day is it?
Well, looking at the calendar, it's the 30th. No time to lose. We must prepare our suitcases for Churston.
Mon Dieu, it is already 10 o'clock. I will call Scotland Yard immediately.
Das ist doch viel zu spät. Was ist das da jetzt?
In his haste, Hastings tore the envelope. Daily Flicker, July 30, 1935. ABC affair, no progress. The alphabet murderer is still on the run. Ever since the police found the connection between the Bexhill and Andover affairs, the inquiry has barely progressed. In this issue, we are publishing provocative letters sent by the killer to Hercule Poirot. Unfortunately, they have not yet helped to find him. Daily Flicker, July the 26th, 1935. The Bexhill Horror. Young maid strangled on the beach. Killer struck at midnight. It is not a good time.
Okay, dann rufen wir da jetzt erstmal an. Ich kann doch langsam nicht mehr sitzen.
Hello, chap. We received a new letter from ABC in the 10 o'clock post.
Where and when?
In Cheston. Today.
Today? I'll inform the population immediately.
I'll check the train times. Call me back.
Habe ich jetzt gerade gerülpst?
It is not a good time. It is not a... Pour Mr. Poirot.
Not known at White House Mansions and White House Court. Try Whitehaven Mansions also.
Pour Mr. Poirot. It is not a good...
Ja, aber letztes Mal hat das doch auch gemacht. So, ich muss auf den Stuhl drücken. Okay.
Pour Mr. Poirot. It is not a good...
Doch, das ist genau der richtige Zeitpunkt, du Trottel. Da steht doch, den neuen Brief mit den anderen ABC-Briefen vergleichen. Das,
It is not a good time.
Warum macht er das denn jetzt nicht? Bin ich jetzt doof? Ja, das hatten wir ja gerade. Wo hat er denn die anderen Briefe jetzt liegen? Hat er die vielleicht irgendwo anders hingelegt?
Hastings, what you are doing is an absolute disaster. That is no way to pack suitcases.
Heavens, we must hurry. We have to get to Churston before the murder.
Hastings' order and method are always necessary, regardless of the circumstances.
Okay, okay. I'll let you pack them.
All the same, it really is a disgrace to leave your belongings in such a mess. Voila. It only took a minute.
Poirot, you were right. I've just consulted the ABC guide. There's no hurry. The next train doesn't leave till 11:45.
You see, there is no need to hurry. We will not be in Churston until tomorrow morning. After the murder.
But why has the murderer warned us so late? It's not what he usually does. Did he do it on purpose?
Very good question, Hastings. We should also compare the letter we have just received with the other two. Although I have very little doubt about what we will find.
Jetzt kann ich das also machen, ja? Sehr nett. Nicht so, dass ich das schon die ganze Zeit tun wollte, Poirot.
Right, let us compare this new letter with the second one.
Okay, wenn man Miets nichts gehört hat, bin ich ja schon mal...
Let us examine this more closely.
Also...
Certain characters in the...
I.
Yes, this I. Right, let us... Yes, the I characters in the two letters do indeed... I have to find... Yes, the A... Right, let us...
Moment mal.
That's right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed... I have to find some... It does...
Ist das überhaupt der richtige Brief? I don't
Right.
know. Ich weiß so langsam gar nichts mehr.
Of course, the W characters in the two letters do indeed have the same... My theory was right. This... Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Nun gut. Warum kommt die Benachrichtigung des Mörders so spät? Der Brief wurde wegen einer fehlerhaften Adresse nicht rechtzeitig...
The letter should have arrived in time. The postmark shows that it was sent 3 days ago. However, our man made a mistake in the address, which explains the delay. All the same, the post office took their time correcting the error.
Come on, Poirot. Your address is not quite as well known as that of Scotland Yard. Poirot, the telephone. It must be Jap.
Ja, Moment, ich gehe gleich. Der klingelt bestimmt auch noch in einer halben Stunde. Ja. Ja. Aufdringlich. Wo ist denn das scheiß Telefon?
I have some news from Churchton. Bad news, I'm afraid. Sir Carmichael Clark was murdered while out on his evening walk.
Sir Carmichael Clark. The name is familiar to me.
He was a famous throat specialist, one of the best in London. A wealthy man, he retired to Combside, a beautiful house by the sea. He collected antiques.
Are you going there?
Yes, let's meet on the train.
Es gibt erstaunliche Übereinstimmungen. Strümpfe, Husten, Halsprobleme und der Arzt zu Halskrankheiten. Ich sehe eine gewisse Zusammengehörigkeit.
The victim is called Sir Carmichael Clark, one of the best throat specialists in London. The body was still warm when we found it. If we'd been warned earlier, we definitely could have saved him.
It appears that the murderer made a mistake when he wrote his letter.
A mistake? Lucky for him.
And what if he did it on purpose?
No. He's defined his madcap rules and he's sticking to them. It's a matter of pride for him. Shall we go up to the house, Poirot?
You go, my friends. I will come soon.
Stimmt. Das ist das erste Mal Mann. Aber sie haben halt irgendwie echt alle was mit dem Hals zu tun. Eine Sängerin mit Halsproblemen. Die andere hat Husten. Und er ist halt Spezialist.
An ABC guide. The murderer's customary signature, covered in blood this time. Sir Carmichael's throat was cut. It's a clean incision, a professional murder. The gravel on the path has been sprayed with blood that covers a conical-shaped area, which starts at the body and becomes wider as it moves further from the bush.
Okay, ihm wurde der Hals aufgeschnitten.
Apart from the wound to the throat, the body is untouched. No cuts, no bruises.
Irgendwie finde ich das sehr seltsam. Muss ja irgendwas mit dem Hals zu tun haben.
Jap has emptied the victim's pockets and has laid out their contents on this piece of wax cloth.
Ein Siegelring.
A signet ring, very probably with the Clark family.
Entschuldigung, ich esse meine eigenen Weihnachtskekse.
It is pointless.
Was? Ist es sinnlos? Okay. Es ist sinnlos.
An oriental dragon. It's an old piece, much older than the pocket watch on which it was fastened. Nothing appears to be missing from this wallet.
Okay, wir sind noch nicht fertig. Poirot, wir sind noch nicht fertig. Ohne mich gehen sie nirgendwo hin.
This place is very calming.
Das stimmt, das ist eine Möwe.
The site is exceptional. It is easy to imagine that Sir Carmichael used to enjoy stopping here every evening. The body is just in front of a bush, one of the only bushes in the surrounding area. The vegetation behind the bush has been trampled. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Ja. Unsere grauen Zellen. Okay, drehte dem Strauch den Rücken zu.
Sir Carmichael had his back to the bush when the killer cut the throat from behind. A fatal blow that sprayed blood over a range of more than 1 meter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Ich gebe mir Mühe. Ja, das befürchte ich auch.
Have you finished, Poirot?
Chief Inspector, many questions remain unanswered, but I am certain of one thing.
Der Mord wurde sorgfältig geplant.
The killer has prepared his crime very carefully.
Quite right. He must have known Sir Carmichael's movements well to plan such an attack.
The murderer struck with terrible savagery.
Yes, blood flowed. It's the first time he's attacked a man. He armed himself accordingly.
Have you spoken to the victim's family, Chief Inspector?
I've spoken to the brother, Franklin Clark. I didn't get much out of him. He's yours. I must get the body removed.
Ich bitte darum.
The body is just in front of a bush.
Schnurrender Kater.
To be honest, this inspector seems rather obtuse. I'm counting on your friend Poirot to catch my brother's murderer. Ah, here he is now. Please, Mr. Poirot. Mr. Poirot, this is my brother's secretary, Miss Thora Gray.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Poirot. Would you like some tea?
No, thank you, mademoiselle. I find it hard to digest. Hastings does not like very hot tea. He's going to blow on his cup for a good while before drinking. There is something elegant about her. She has good taste, except perhaps in her choice of jewelry.
Please excuse me, I have to take care of Lady Clark.
Natürlich. Aber diese Drachen sind ja überall. Hier hinten. Hier.
It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to question him. It is not the right time.
My brother's wife is gravely ill. You will probably want to question her, but I fear that it won't be possible today.
Of course, I understand. Someone set a trap for your brother. Who was familiar with his habits?
Everybody knew he took his evening walk at 8:30, and that he always followed the same path.
And did people of the village know Sir Carmichael's habits?
I don't know. It's possible.
What were you doing last night?
After dinner, I went to my bedroom. At 11 in the evening, the telephone rang. It was the police. I went to look for my brother.
Was it a dark night?
It was a new moon. I took a lantern.
So it was you who found the body?
Yes, along with the gardener.
Have you seen any strangers around the house recently?
No. As far as I know, nobody has been near the house.
Es war immer der Gärtner. Es war
Miss
immer...
Clark.
Oh, Lady Clark must have fallen from her chair. I have to help Miss Gray get her up.
Es war immer der Gärtner.
Hastings, while our host is gone, let's examine the drawing room.
But, Poirot, a gentleman shouldn't...
I take full responsibility. All you have to do is to leave the drawing room door ajar and let me know if anyone is coming.
Hastings, seien Sie doch mal nett. Steht da echt? Keine Ahnung.
A tiger. A turtle.
Es ist sehr asiatisches Geschirr.
Dragon, dragon, dragon. Sir Carmichael showed himself to be very consistent in his collection's theme. A dragon. A crane?
Ja, sieht mir das da noch aus.
Comside's private collection, purchases since 1920. The catalogue for Sir Carmichael Clark's collection. It is an emperor. His place at the center of the table is probably symbolic.
Hier ist so einiges vertreten, mein liebes Miezchen.
There are some very valuable objects here. compass point to the south. Bronze and magnetite, Han Dynasty, circa 210 BC, purchased in Hong Kong 1935. I'm not going to leave now.
Ja, den Tisch habe ich mir da schon angesehen. Da habe ich ja alles.
Traditional Chinese map. Facsimile. South is on the top of the map.
Den Salon durchsuchen. Okay, können wir hier noch irgendwo hingehen? Oder muss ich erst hier hinten hinwandern? Wahrscheinlich muss ich erst nach hier hinten hinwandern.
Sir Carmichael's collection could rival that of a major museum. Sir Carmichael... The interior is richly decorated. Dragon, dragon, dragon. Sir Carmichael showed himself to be very consistent in his collection's theme.
Oh, ich will überhaupt nicht wissen, wo sich jetzt wieder diese komischen Schatullen befinden, die kein Mensch aufmachen kann. Und wer auch immer die erfunden hat, der wird verprügelt.
It's locked.
Ohne Scheiß. Sowas macht man nicht. Man macht Detektiven das Leben nicht so schwer. Ohne Frechheit. Ah, es geht schon wieder los. Ich glaube, es geht schon wieder
Turtle,
los.
the dragon, the crane and the tiger. I think I've already seen this motif somewhere.
Ich auch. Okay, Moment.
The cardinal points. This book could maybe help me. Each cardinal point is associated with one animal and one color. In the middle sits the imperial dragon, and out of respect, all the others are turned towards him.
Moment. Ja, ich habe wieder einen Kriegsmoment. Es tut mir sehr leid. Nein. Moment, was stand da? Ja, ich fange nochmal von vorne an. Ich bin aber ja nicht Shinichi. Die sind alle weiß. Kacke.
A tiger.
Das hat mir jetzt nicht sehr geholfen. Ich bin aber nicht Shinichi Kudo. Und ich heiße auch nicht Heiji Hattori. Oder Masumi.
Turtle, the dragon, the crane and the tiger. I think I've already seen this motif somewhere.
Okay, Moment.
The cardinal points.
Rot, blau,
This book
schwarz,
could
weiß.
maybe help me. Each cardinal point is...
Rot, blau. Das da oben muss rot. Rot. Weiß. Schwarz. Farben her kommt das aber hin, ne? Ja.
The position of each motif is correct, but they are not turned the same way as on the table. I think I heard a bang. Could it be this cupboard?
Da lacht mein Mietz mich ja noch aus.
This is interesting.
Es fehlt ein Messer.
These daggers are only ceremonial weapons. I do not think that the crime weapon is here.
Aber trotzdem fehlt eine.
Ernest Logan, MD, Brighton Cancer Institute, 201 Dusk Road, Brighton, Sussex. To Sir Carmichael Clark, MD, Comsite Churstone, Devon. Brighton, 1935, January the 5th. As a man of science, I owe it to you to be completely frank. Lady Clark, your wife is suffering from a generalized terminal cancer. I confess I didn't suspect anything like that during the first exams. But with the test results I have received today, there is unfortunately no place for doubt. I estimate that Lady Clark's life expectancy is no more than 1 year. Hospitalization would not help in her case, so I advise you to keep her at home and provide her with as much morphine as required to ease her last moments. Yours sincerely, Ernest Logan.
Here's Miss Gray.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Lady Clark's condition requires regular care. I believe you want to ask me a few questions.
Indeed, mademoiselle. This porcelain is remarkable. Is it old?
It's about 3 centuries old, I believe. Wait, let me find the reference.
Wie viel wetten wir, dass die ihren Chef gevögelt hat?
She appears to be very flustered.
Sieht gewandt.
She's unable to hide her emotion, and her makeup has been disturbed. I think that this young woman has just been kissed.
Die hat was mit dem Bruder.
Here? Teapot with black dragon, Gangshi period, end of the 17th century. It is a rare piece with unusual colours.
You have a good knowledge of art history.
Acquired while working with Sir Carmichael. I used to help him manage his collection and choose his new acquisitions.
Did you have a good relationship with your employer?
He treated me well, and I am sorry for his death.
Have you seen any strangers hanging around in the past few days?
No. Nobody has been near Comside.
Tell me what happened last night.
After dinner? Well, I did some sewing, and then I went to bed. I was woken by the telephone at 11. I heard Franklin Clark speaking with the gardener. They left with some lanterns, and they found the body.
Am I right thinking that something is going on between you and Franklin?
How dare you ask me such a question?
Mademoiselle, It is difficult to hide things from me. He kissed you earlier, did he not?
My goodness, with Sir Carmichael's death, I was feeling so awful, so worried. I was unable to resist.
I am not judging you, mademoiselle.
Miss Grey, if I may be so bold, please do not take offence. My friend has rather unusual methods, but all he wants is to find the murderer.
Yes, I understand. I must rest. Please excuse me.
Trotzdem glaube ich immer noch, dass sie das
Earlier,
mit dem
you
anderen-
asked me to watch the living room door for you. I don't wish to be indiscreet, but sometimes a gentleman stumbles upon a secret without intending to.
That is sometimes the case.
And I saw Franklin Clark kissing Miss Grey at the foot of the stairs.
Do you think this is a common occurrence?
No, I saw emotion, intensity. I think it was their first kiss.
Well done, mon ami. Well spotted.
However, I don't think I completely understand this business. Why did Sir Carmichael not defend himself? He appeared to have been active and strong.
The murderer did not give him a chance. Let us try and reconstruct the scene. Sir Clark is taking his customary walk. Our killer is hiding behind a bush. The old man walks quietly along the graveled path. Then he turns towards the sea to gaze at it.
Ich weiß nicht mehr, von rechts oder von links.
The killer leaves his hiding place on the left-hand side. He walks over the gravel on the path. The noise alerts Sir Clark, who turns around.
No, Sir Clark was attacked by surprise. He could not see his assailant. Let us think again, mon cher.
Aber auf rechts konnte ich nicht klicken.
Sir Clark is taking his customary walk. Our killer is hiding behind a bush. The old man walks quietly along the graveled path. Then he turns towards the sea to gaze at it. The killer leaves his hiding place on the right-hand side. He approaches silently over the grass. Then he throws himself on his prey and cuts the poor man's throat. He then lays down the ABC before leaving. Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Oh, just a minute. I'm getting dressed.
ABC.
Mr. Kirst, have you recently returned from Churston?
Yes. Indeed I have.
Have you seen the papers? And to think that you might have rubbed shoulders with the killer. Imagine that. Mr. Kirst, are you all right? You don't seem well.
My apologies. My throat is burning and my head feels heavy. It's ever since the war, you know. Since my injury, my head has never been the same.
Oh mein Gott.
Poirot, it's a pleasure to be with you again after all these years. I looked for a gift to thank you, and I found this propelling pencil.
An authentic collector's item. You spoil me, mon ami.
And you more so by sharing investigations.
Do not underestimate the help you are to me, Hastings. Intellect is not everything. There is also goodwill, and you are not short of that. Later, I will ask you to help me tidy up the room and bring some chairs. Our guest will be here soon.
Ah, is Thora Grey coming?
Naturally. She is a fascinating young woman, n'est-ce pas?
Oh, come on, Poirot. I'm a married man. And Miss Grey has already been courted by Franklin Clark. Poirot, our guests will be here soon. We must prepare ourselves.
I should take advantage of the silence to examine them.
Jeden beobachten. Was soll ich denn da jetzt tun? Ich mag das jetzt schon wieder nicht. Ich weiß schon wieder nicht, was ich tun soll.
I ought to concentrate on my guests. Franklin Clark always seems at ease, regardless of where he is. Something that's unique to people who travel. The song says, "Sometimes I love a blonde who comes from Eden by way of Sweden. But I am not sure that this blonde is an angel. Sometimes I love a brunette, sometimes I love a blonde." That's what the song says.
Hä?
She appears to have taken more care with her appearance than the last time. She's looking at Mr. Fraser out of the corner of her eye. Did she make herself beautiful for him?
Die guckt ihn nicht nur aus dem Augenwinkel an, die starrt ihn relativ obsessiv an.
Donald is always on edge.
Jetzt starre ich den schon wieder so lange an.
Leave me alone.
Nein.
Donald Fraser is very nervous at the moment, even if he is trying hard to control himself. I wish to thank you all for coming. I wanted to bring everyone close to the victims here in order to unmask the murderer.
Get to the point, Mr. Poirot. What do you want from us?
You are an intelligent woman, Mademoiselle Barnard, and I'm sure that you have already understood my intentions.
You think that if we put our heads together, we might come up with something new?
I am convinced of it. What I ask is that you search your memories. The murderer must have left some trace.
Yes, he must have prepared his crimes very carefully.
Tout à fait. He did not get to Bexhill at midnight in order to strangle a young girl whose name by chance starts with B.
Must we go into that?
Reißen Sie sich zusammen.
No, of course. Not if it makes you uncomfortable.
Come on, Mr. Poirot. I imagine we all feel terribly uncomfortable about these murders.
It's true. We've to catch the killer, not be spared the gory details.
Mr. Fraser, please get a grip on yourself.
Well, I want to help you, but I don't remember anything else. Nothing I haven't already said.
And you, Mademoiselle Barnard? Did your sister say if she was seeing another man?
She never would have told me.
Why would she hide the fact from you?
Betty knew I didn't approve of her behaviour. Her flirting was spoiling any chance she might have had.
Tell me, mademoiselle, what did you talk about with your sister?
Silly things. Her new dress. She wanted a pair of black stockings to go with it. Mother bought her a brand new pair. The day it happened, she was crying. And to think that Betty never even wore them. Poor Mummy.
Your sister used to sing, I believe. Did she ever perform in public?
She dreamt about it, but she had a very bad cough. It troubled her greatly. She had to cancel auditions and miss lots of opportunities. A pity.
Yes, she sang well, but that doesn't tell us much about the murderer.
Qui sait? In any case, we now have enough information to draw up a relatively precise psychological profile. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Okay. Ist der Mörder clever? Ihr hättet ihn ja jetzt clever genannt. Ist brillant. Selbstsicher genug, um sie zu verführen. Mag der Mörder Züge? Ja, gehe ich mal von aus. Impulsiv. Nein. Er weiß genau, was er tut. Ja, in gewisser Weise schon.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we can now surmise without too much risk of error that our adversary is calculative, sure of himself, a seducer, of outstanding intelligence, that he has plenty of self-control, and that he likes railways. It's a good start. Other meetings may be necessary. I hope that you will be able to come back again.
Well, it's just that...
Is something bothering you, Mary?
Well, Mr. Poirot, you see, I don't know if I can come to London just like that.
It's normal that people helping with this inquiry should be reimbursed. Starting with you, Miss Drower. Please allow me to pay for your train tickets.
Oh, sir, I cannot accept.
But you must. Mademoiselle, I may not be rich, but my brother left a fortune which will be mine.
Mr. Clark, that's very generous of you.
Well, someone has to foot the bill. Mr. Poirot, would it be possible for you to come back to Devon? Lady Clark has expressed a wish to see you. We'll adjust her medicine so she'll not be too drowsy.
But of course, I shall come the day after tomorrow if it is convenient. Thank you all for coming. We will meet again soon. The meeting was most fruitful.
Really?
Hastings, I believe now we have everything we need to find a common point between the victims. Now it is time for us to use our grey matter. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Was haben die Opfer gemeinsam? Husten. Stimmprobleme. Ja, alle Halsbeschwerden.
The first two victims suffered from bad throat, and that was precisely the specialty of the third victim, Dr. Clark.
We have a lead.
It would pay to take a closer look at the medical records of Dr. Clark's patients.
We'll do so during our next visit to Churston.
I will do it myself, mon ami. You must remain in London just in case ABC sends us another letter.
Very well, as you wish. Thank you for coming, Mr. Poirot. Lady Clark is waiting for you in her bedroom on the first floor. Please excuse me, I cannot stay for the interview. I've to take Miss Gray to the station to see our lawyer in Torquay.
Are you leaving Churston for good?
Miss Gray very kindly stayed with me to settle my brother's affairs, but naturally she prefers to find a position in London.
Ah, très bien.
I'll be absent all morning, Mr. Poirot, but the nurse is coming soon. She's to ensure that the dose of medicine doesn't make our patient drowsy.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Have a nice trip, mademoiselle.
Offensichtlich will sie nicht mit ihm zusammenbleiben. Ich meine ja nur. Oh Gott, die Arme.
This poor woman is very ill.
Please tell the nurse to hurry. Please.
This woman is suffering. She is in no state to have a conversation.
Wo ist denn ihre... Was ist das denn da?
It would be rude to make Lady Clark wait any longer.
Okay, wo ist denn ihre Nurse, bitte?
It's closed. It would be rude to make...
Ja, okay. Wir sollen also mit ihr reden. Ich hab's schon verstanden. Gott, die tun mir so leid, ehrlich. Ich will gar nicht mit ihr reden. Das ist, Oh.
Mr. Poirot?
My respects, madame.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Have you seen the nurse? She should have been here by now. Oh, I'm sorry.
The telephone in the hall is ringing.
Ja, gut. Wir gehen ins Telefon. Wir lassen wir lassen diese sterbende Frau einfach mal zurück und gehen ins Telefon. Wir setzen Prioritäten in unserem Leben. Das ist das scheiß Telefon.
The Clark residence. Detective Hercule Poirot speaking.
How do you do, Mr. Poirot? I'm Lady Clark's nurse. I wanted to let you know that I won't be able to come for her injection today. Might Miss Grey be able to do it?
She has just left, but I will take care of it.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. You'll find the skeleton key to open the medicine cabinet hidden in the lion trophy.
You can count on me. Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Oh, thank you kindly. Goodbye, Mr. Poirot.
Was ist das für eine klasse Krankenschwester? Ja, die ist zwar sterbenskrank, aber fuck. Was interessiert's mich? Ich kann halt heute gerade mal nicht. Die hat doch eine Nummer verfüllert, die doch.
Here is the skeleton key. April 1925, Aceh Province, Sumatra.
So, wo ist der Medizinschrank? Wahrscheinlich oben irgendwo.
It's closed.
Ah, Mr. Poirot. Oh, I feel better now. Thank you for your help.
Habe ich doch gerne gemacht.
You asked for me, chère madame.
Yes. Yes, of course, I wish to speak with you. But what was it about?
No doubt. You wish to talk to me about what happened to your husband?
Ah, yes. Oh, poor Carmichael. Has the madman who killed him been caught?
Not yet, chère madame. There was a great many people in Cheston on the day of the murder.
Indeed. People go straight to the beach. They don't come near Coomside.
So, there were no strangers around the house that day?
Who said that?
The people who live here. Your brother-in-law, Miss Grey.
Miss Grey? Oh, I don't like her. Franklin wanted her to stay, but I insisted she should go. Immediately.
You are entitled to do so, naturally.
I'm pleased that you approve. The others have been taken in by her. But at least you can see through that self-pity act. See what she's up to. Oh.
Da ist jemand eingeschlafen. Was, wieso soll ich sie denn
She is
wecken?
sleeping. I must find a way to wake her up gently. She is asleep.
Ich will sie gar nicht
I
wecken.
must find...
Na gut.
I've finished with this subject. This subject will probably be useful to me.
Was ist das? Ach, ein Bronzekamm. Da liegt doch auch noch was davon rum.
This subject will probably be useful to me.
Vielleicht kann ich das Radio anmachen.
This couple appears to be having fun.
Was ist das? Was ist das?
Lady Clark and Sir Carmichael were very happy, but they did not have any children.
Kann man das... Ich möchte das Radio anmachen.
Lady Clark and Sir Carmichael were very happy, but they did not have any children.
Oh Gott, aber was, wenn sie doch ein Kind hatten? Da fehlt noch ein Teil. vielleicht irgendwie das Fenster aufmachen oder sowas.
I've finished with this subject.
Okay. Dann halt nichts.
I must find a way to wake her up gently. I must find a way.
Ja, aber was denn für einen? Ich würde sie ja gern wecken. Ich weiß nur nicht wie. Das Radio lässt sich ja nicht anmachen.
This subject would probably be useful to me.
Ja, aber mit was denn verbinden? Mit was denn verbinden?
This spring appears to be broken. I hope that Hastings will not be cross with me.
Oh, what are we talking about? Ah, yes, Thora Grey. Oh, Carmichael had great esteem for her, but for me she was nothing but a hypocrite.
You're probably right, madame.
You have seen through her. I'm so pleased that I've convinced you.
Well, I appear to have been wrong about Thora Grey.
So you all agree. How nice it is to be all of the same mind.
Miss Grey did look after you very well, though.
Outwardly. But she's hiding something. I think she tried to poison me.
Miss Grey? A poisoner? But everybody appears to like her.
It proves she knows what she's doing. She's manipulative and she's a liar.
A liar?
Let's see, didn't she say that on the day of the crime nobody was around Coomside?
That is correct.
Well, at 11 o'clock I saw her talking to someone.
Really? And what was this man like?
An ordinary sort of man with a very plain face. Oh, I don't remember well.
Was he a gentleman?
No, he was not a gentleman.
It would be best to leave her to sleep now. The telephone in the hall is ringing.
Schon wieder. Was ist denn für ein furchtbares Telefon?
Hello?
Poirot, is that you? Hastings here.
Thank you for calling. Have you received a new letter from the murderer?
No, thank goodness. How are things in Churston?
I questioned Lady Clark, but I will not leave until I have examined everything of interest to me here. Fortunately, Franklin is absent, and I have a skeleton key.
Have you seen Thora Grey again?
Briefly. But rest assured, I intend to summon her to London soon.
She's a fascinating girl.
But secretive. I would like to ask her a few questions.
Poirot, she wouldn't hurt a fly.
Each to his own, my friend. Yours are pretty often mine old ladies that have the maladies.
Poirot, are you mocking me?
No ill intended, rest assured. À bientôt, mon ami.
Oh Gott, ich muss verlassen. Ja. Muss ich. Es tut mir sehr leid. Ich kriege langsam Knoten im Kopf. Oh Gott, und wenn ich sehe, dass wir es 62% geschafft haben, war ja noch ein bisschen was vor mir. Oh Gott. Ist ja noch... Oh Gott, hier nicht sehr viel von mir. Das ist... Oh Gott, oh Gott, oh Gott, oh Gott. Das, ja. Hallo? Okay, mir fehlen hier zwischendrin immer mal wieder welche. Aber vielleicht, das wird sich dann noch ergeben. Das ist ja... Ich bin ja... Das ist ja... Ich weiß überhaupt nicht, was ich sagen soll. Also, das ist ein sehr schönes Spiel. Ich mag es auf jeden Fall sehr, sehr gerne. Aber ich glaube, für mich ist es jetzt so langsam Zeit, ins Bett zu gehen. Ich muss ja morgen wieder zur Arbeit. Das Ego ist ins Unermessliche gestiegen, mein liebes Mietz, wie man es sieht. Also ich fürchte, das wird nochmal einen neuen Stream geben. Wir haben ja bald Januar. Und dann werde ich das auf jeden Fall zu Ende spielen. Keine Ahnung wann. Also es hat doch mehr Spaß gemacht, als ich gedacht habe. Hätte ich jetzt gar nicht so unbedingt erwartet. Also, wir sehen uns im nächsten Stream. Ich freue mich schon mal drauf. Ich wünsche noch einen schönen Abend und einen guten Rutsch ins neue Jahr hinein. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye, bye.